als letzte Teilnehmerin aus der Vorrunde. Sehr gut, die Leute klatschen diesmal weiter. Diesmal muss eine Kleinigkeit machen. Jetzt will ich mal was erzählen. Ganz ursprünglich kommt sie aus Portland in den USA, aber extra für uns, um unsere Fahrtkosten für sie niedrig zu halten, kommt sie heute Abend aus Münster. Jetzt könnt ihr wieder applaudieren. Ein Applaus für Vanessa Rose.
Hello. I speak English, just to let you know. So I'm going to do a poem in English right now. It's a little sad. Yeah, it's not a very happy poem. It's about my hometown in Palo Alto, California. And a couple of years ago, a lot of the local teenagers were committing suicide by jumping in front of trains. And this was not only a tragedy for their family and their friends and their teachers, but it was also a tragedy for the person who was driving the train. He goes to work. Evening shift, rush hour. 22 stations, 77 miles of track, 35,000 travelers a day. Caltran number 271, a battleship's worth of steel and velocity. He says a prayer that tonight won't be another morning headline, that silhouettes will scatter like ravens in the road. Too many close calls make his occupation held breath anticipatory. Not a matter of if, but when. As a child, nobody told him how many times Mr. Conductor wiped splattered red remains off Thomas's face, or that it takes more than a mile and over 10 seconds before the brake banshee screeches the wheels to a standstill, 10 seconds to wait for the now familiar sound of sledgehammer over soft watermelon, fates laid out in tracks he can't steer away from. He passes San Bruno, Millbrae, Burlingame, each time opening the doors with a ghost-like whisper, helping the masses get home, waiting for the moment where the railroad X marks the spot where the chain-link fence holds half-inflated balloons and dying bouquets, where cleanup crews collected scattered doll parts to identify. More suicides this year than any time in the railroad's history. He passes Sequoia Station, Atherton, but this bullet hits its mark every time. He's seen so many final moments you'd think death was a co-worker, a spectator in a decision so personal some don't leave behind a noted explanation, just a split second before stepping in front of a guarantee traveling at 80 miles per hour. It's his job to take people places. He only wishes he didn't take them to their graves. He doesn't want to be another person's salvation, wishes he could forget seeing their eyes wide and relaxed before impact knocks bowling pin limbs down the track. 10 seconds can feel like an instant, but it's enough time to scar a face into memory and realize there is nothing he can do but remind himself he is not a murderer, he's just the bullet, the razor, the noose. Still the responsibility weighs and 2-ton steel sobs the parental pointed fingers, searching for someone to blame when their teenage sons and daughters are killed by a train led by a human heart. He wants to know why he bears these track marks, but only prays tonight won't sound hollow and metallic, just the rhythmic hum, just the ringing bells as he passes the grade crossing gates. It's 10 in the evening between California Avenue and San Antonio Station, and in the distance he sees her, a spotlit phoenix. He starts counting, 1, 2, 3, blows the horn with trained optimacy. The red emergency lever at his right side, a limp possibility. 4, 5, 6, he blows the horn a second time and knows she will cause ripples when she becomes the next rail spike. 7, 8, he wants to know her name. She waves goodbye, but he just turns his head and he waits.